Welcome everyone to this RF1 broadcast. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to connect to the RSF1 channel on Twitch, so I'll be hosting this one on mine. We are round 14, if I'm not mistaken. Australia on this championship, which is absolutely brilliant. We're having very good battles in this championship. So we're two feature races and one sprint race from the end of the season, and we have a battle for the lead of this championship. We have Prof Phil in the Mercedes, which is first at the moment, followed by Sublime in the McLaren, which is 2 points behind. So it's a very tight championship. There's still 55 cents, which is also 17 points behind Sublime. So if the two leaders of the championship have a bad race or if an incident happened, it could make a comeback and go back into this three-way battle, let's say. After that, we've got John C, which is in a battle with Decided for fourth. John C is 11 points away from Decided, so anything can happen in 3 races. We also have Surgeon Bildo, which is in a battle with El Chris, 5 points behind for 7th place, so that should be interesting. And we also have Dirty Too Saucy against Annie, 1 point behind. Trevor, which is chasing Dirty Too Saucy as well, 1 point behind. Dirty Diesel, which is not racing tonight, I think. No, Dirty Diesel is racing tonight. It's his brother, Dirty Too Saucy, which is not racing tonight. So everything there is pretty packed. We also have Take Your Easy in the mix. So they're all separate by 1 or 2 points. So very interesting. Lots of plays to gain if a good result happened tonight. In terms of constructor standing, seems like McLaren extended its lead in the past race. Now they're over 100 points in front of Mercedes. Mercedes is in front of Aston Martin. Not really into a battle, I would say, with 60 points ahead. And then it's Alpine, AlphaTauri, Haas. Haas and AlphaTauri aren't that far out. It's 24 points. It's still reachable within the next 3 races. And then Red Bull, Ferrari, Alfa Romeo, and Williams. Lots of points, lots of gap with all of these people. So I don't expect much change in the constructor at this point. So a lot of people on a health lap at the moment. We're following Mr. Nas, which has which had a terrible ending of race in Abu Dhabi previous round. Ended in a pit wall out of the last corner. Went a little too early on the throttle and lost the grip. Just as I was speaking about him and about his very good race. So let's try not to curse him tonight, as he's going on a lap at the moment. Let's follow him. Let's also put a few details here. All right. So in front of him, it seems like there's a Ferrari. And what happened to Sublime? Is he out of the session or what? So it seems like the weather report is a dry qualifying and dry race. For some reason, it seems like Sublime is not taking part into this quali session, or he's just not on track. I don't know. As people are coming across this finish line. Surgeon Bildo with a very good time of 1:19.1 to start with. Then there's El Chris, Decided in 3rd place at the moment, and we're following Mr. Nas, which is coming to the end of this lap. Henny with a 19.8 follows Surgeon Bildo at the moment. And Mr. Nas is coming, and it's 4th place for him with a 19.9. Very tight with El Chris, only separate by 0.002 of a second. We have Insane Sparty recording good lap. Profil as well, and John C, which is now our new leader with a 1:19.09. So if we take a look back at the times on Sunday, fastest lap was in the 1:17. So I expect that we see some 1:18 tonight later on in qualification, as we have a purple sector too. Or it's a glitch from the game. I don't think it's really happening. As we can follow Take Her Easy. He's recording his first lap in the Mercedes. Sorry if I sound a little weird. I have a bit of a cold at the moment, so... not my best allocution. As Take Her Easy is going full throttle into this new section of the track, this redone section of the track, which is now a huge line, and he goes off track. I don't know if it's going to be time deleted for him. Yeah, I can't see on his wheel. Let's see if he records the time or not, because I think he lost some time going into that corner. So the game may not have penalized him for going off track. He's finishing his lap, so pretty sure he's gonna record something. Yes, it's 10th place for him. As we will follow now 55 Cents, which is going on his first qualifying lap. 55 Cents is trying to do a comeback into this championship, so better have a good qualification. Good results later on. And it seems like a very good lap for him. A little deep here on the penultimate corner. He's going a full throttle on this last part of the track. Trying to record a good time. And it's going to be 8th place for him, a 19.7. We have Surgeon Bildo, which is second at the moment, going on his second lap. Let's follow him. Goes too deep there and clip his front wing. He's going to have to return to the pit and try on the next lap. We will follow John C, I think. Oh, he was on a lap and something happened, or... No, he's going on a lap right now. So let's follow him, our current leader, and see if he's able to do better. So it seems like he obviously aborted this lap. Who else do we have on track at the moment? We have Mitch. Mitch seems to be on a lap at the moment, so let's follow him. Very technical corner, this sector 3. This new curb was is quite intimidating. It can unsettle the car pretty quickly. Well, let's see for Mitch how it pays out. And it's first place for Mitch, first time in the 18. Very good lap from the AlphaTauri driver. We have John, which is now on a lap as well. I don't know, no, he doesn't seem to have invalidate on that curve. And now he's adding into the chicane. He could have cut a little more that curve here. Yeah, that's not a very good exit out of the chicane. You obviously want to take the short line in, so cut a lot of the first curve. Be mid-throttle pretty much through the chicane, and then have the cleanest exit as possible and get on the power as soon as possible past the second turn, even just a little before. So, and John returns into the pit, not satisfied by his lap. We have Any, which is 3/10 on his previous time, so it should be a very good lap for him. Let's follow him closely as he heads into this long straight. Well, it's not straight technically, but you're full throttle all the way through, so. That was not too bad of an exit out of that chicane for Any. Here, went very low gear. I think you want to take this third gear, but still carries a lot of speed through the corner and goes into the pit. So maybe he invalidated his lap. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to follow someone which is actually improving. Mr. Naz here seems to have improved by 3/10 on his first sector as he heads into the second sector, the fast one. As Armistice is now our new leader with an 18.9.5. So 300s in front of Mitch. Could be very cool to have unexpected pole sitter tonight. It takes a lot of this chicane, not the chicane, this curve. You don't really want to clip this one because it unsettles the car, like I said. A little deep here in the last corner. Having a great line out of that last turn. Put the power on early. And it's third place for Mr. Knotts. Very good. He's been improving a lot this season. He's having very good results, so let's hope he's got a good race tonight. And let's not jinx anything he does. As we have John C, which is on an out lap, so we'll come back to him. We have Surgeon Bildo, which could take pole position. He's a very fast driver. Let's see how it pays out for him this lap. Very high gear through this section. Has to lift a little bit to pass this turn. And he heads into this sort of chicane. Very early on the power, carrying a lot of speed. And he is currently 2 seconds, I think. Oh, he's preparing a lap, or he's going to the pit. He's not on a lap at the moment, so let's go and see what John C can do. Could have taken a little more to of the right turn here in the first corner. Very good line through this one. Struggles a little bit to go on the power out of this one. Goes to 8th, then to 5th, and goes a little wide there. Still carries a lot of momentum, so it shouldn't be too much affecting. Maybe he lost 2 or 3 tenths with these mistakes, but I'm sure he can do better on his first lap. Oof, as this chicane, yeah, he had lost a lot of time there for sure. Yeah, he's backing out of this lap. And I think that our championship leader is currently on his final lap for this qualifying session, so let's follow him closely. Obviously, you'd like to start from 2 first rows of the grid. So it's pretty much his final chance to improve as he goes into this last sector. 5 tenths in front of his previous time. Goes very wide there to get a better exit out of this turn. And he's now our new pole sitter with an 18.5. Very good lap from Phil. John C seems to have a lot of trouble recording another fast lap. Mitch did a very good performance as well. Came back into the pit with a 18.7, so we should start from the first 2 rows. Harnesses is still on the lap, so could maybe create a surprise as 55 cents retires, and he's now in 3rd place. Oh, Harnesses is not going for another lap, and he's improving a little. What about Surgeon coming in? Decided not on a lap, it seems. So it's pretty much just any at the moment. You shouldn't take too much of that curve. It doesn't give the best of line to go on the power. Oh, he's going into the pit. So it's pretty much your grid for tonight. So Prof Phil, our championship leader, will start from 1st position, followed by Mitch in 2nd, 55 cents in 3rd, Armistice in 4th, Annie in 5th, Mr. Nas in 6th, John C in 7th, Surgeon Bildo in 8th, Decided in 9th, Elchris in 10th, Tikirizi in 11th, Trevor in 12th, and we have Sublime, which unfortunately didn't record a lap, and Sparty and Dirty Diesel, which disqualified in their out lap. So it's your grid for tonight, 15 cars. Let's see if Sublime is able to come back in this race. We should definitely see a safety car at some point, so if he gambles right on the strategy, it pays for him. Alright, so every driver has their setup right. They have to be. They're now waiting for everyone to ready up to start the formation lap. So I expect a good battle between Professor Phil and 55 Cents on this race. 55 Cents is trying to make a comeback. Next round is going to be double race, so a sprint race and a feature race, so lots of points to be made there. And just like you saw tonight, some happened to sub in qualifying, so it's his opportunity to come back into this championship for sure. This track could be treacherous though. There's a couple of places like just turn 1, turn 2. If you don't take the curb correctly there, it could throw the car off track. There's also this turn right here, which is sort of low grip at some points when the tires are used. So you have to gauge throttle right going into that turn, making sure that the car doesn't smash the wall. And then at the end of this long high-speed section, let's call it that way, we've got the fast chicane, which also, if you don't take the curb correctly there, it could unsettle the car and throw it into the barriers. And we have obviously this very technical sector 3, so the next turn Phil is about to take. There's this new curb on the right, the redone curb, which unsettles the car. You have to take it as wide as possible to go on the throttle and put the car in a straight line as soon as possible to gain the maximum speed. And then the penultimate turn is very treacherous as well. A very low grip turn, and the last corner also a very low grip one. You have to be very careful on the throttle going into that turn to make sure that the car stays straight for the pit lane straight. And that's all about it. All the challenges of this track that the drivers will have to face tonight. So overtaking opportunities are obviously before turn 1, before turn 3, and then in the long straight head into the chicane. So lots of overtaking opportunities, as I can't see the leaders, but the lights are on and the lights are off, and away we go, as we really don't have the best of views. But Phil is being passed by Mitch on the start. As he goes super wide, he goes off track to take back his position. But Mitch has a bit much more grip, and he's going ahead with John C., which is also our last race winner, if I'm not mistaken. He did hell of a race and extended a stint of tire. So he's very good with the tires. Let's see what he can do with the soft tire. As 55 cents is closing on John C. There's Sublime that made a big jump up the start. He's now running 7. So very good start for him. Big losers of the start, the Ferraris. They had a very difficult night in Abu Dhabi, so let's see what they can do for this race now. As we have John C. on soft tires, which is challenging Mitch on medium tires at the moment. So he should be very, very, very quick within the first 3 laps compared to the medium's tire. Putting a lot of pressure. Mitch will have to use a lot of battery to defend from him. As we go into this crucial section on grip, and John C is right into the slipstream of Mitch. Will he try a move in turn 1? Doesn't seem like it. He's going the patient way, as 55 cents is now is still ahead of Profil. Profil, which was our pole sitter, lost 3 places on the start. As we have Sublime, which is running with decided very close to his gearbox. Trying to catch up Mr. Nas. As the battle is now closer between John and Mitch. Heading into this long straight. So it's now an ERS and a setup battle here. So which car has the most straight line speed? Which car have the more ERS? And how do they manage it for the end of this race? So let's have a few of those informations in. There we go. So a lot of gamble here on the tires. So it's half medium and hard tires, and John is actually the only one running on softs, as we have a new fastest lap at the moment. And we're having some pretty good battles. Professor Phil is really close to 55 cents, so I don't know if he's going the patient way, if he's going to try a move at some point. And we have quite a gap between the other ones. Dirty Diesel, Mr. Nas, and Sublime are all a second and a half from each other. Has decided as now a time penalty because of too much off-track positioning of his car. But he's still following Sub very closely. Could be a good battle before the end. As I say that, John is going to try a move here on Mitch. In this particular corner, he goes off track. He goes all the way on the curb. Make a little bit of contact. But the car stays mostly on track. Let's see if Mitch is able to pull a move in the next lap against John, which his tires are going to start to be weakened by the tire wear in the next laps as he catches the fastest lap. Obviously, DRS helped him a lot getting it. Mitch now has DRS on him. Closes by a 10th in this first zone. Phil is still behind 55 cents. It seems like decided past Sub at the end of this DRS zone. They're not on the same tire, so tire advantage goes to decided, but his tires are going to fall off after lap 6 or 7. It's going to be pretty much even between the hards and the mediums, so let's see what will happen. And back there, Harmesis really far away, Henny far away, something happened, and Bildo, which has retired from this race. John C. followed very closely as we have the chopper shot. It's a very nice camera from the game. We should have this camera all the way around the track for each lap. It's such a cool view of the battles and of the track itself and its surroundings. As Mitch is in a very, very good battle here with John C for the lead of this race. Coming real close into this corner. Phil is still following closely 55 cents. He will wait on his moment to pounce on him and attack. As Mr. Naz is having a race on his own. 3 seconds away from Phil and decided is 2 seconds behind him with a time penalty. So you only have to stay consistent until the end of this. Has decided to pull the gap with Sublime, which is trying to catch back the DRS on him. He hasn't the same amount of battery that decided to have at the moment, but the tire advantage will soon turn over. There's no safety car. As we'll take a look back at the battle for the lead of this race, with Mitch, which is going really aggressive into this last sector. And he's got, it's John that we're following, which has 70% ERS. That's a lot. Mitch is 33%. He's not close enough to try and move. He cuts it out of the first chicane. He's going into the second zone here. Puts ERS very, very fast. DRS is on, and he won't be able to make a move once again. So we're having a really nice DRS train here for the lead of this race with 4 cars battling. And I would say that Phil is probably waiting for his moment here, or that someone makes a mistake in front of him. Has decided is catching Mr. Naz. And Sparty is catching El Chris. Sparty also will have a tire advantage in a few laps. And the other ones behind will wish for a safety car to come back into this race as Annie passes Dirty Diesel. But still, for this race, Ass is in the mud. Really needs a safety car. Has John C is very good with his ERS management. He's still over 60 past lap 7, defending against Mitch. And will Mitch be able to pass him? Let's go into this camera for a little bit to see where he gains and where he loses against John C. In this section, we can see that John is lacking a little bit of grip. But it seems like on the straight line, maybe it's because of his ERS deployment, but this car seems way faster in the straight line than Mitch cars is. Mitch has a very good exit out of that chicane. Will he attack for the overtake here? No, John C seems to deploy his ERS. Yeah, obviously he has deployed a lot of ERS during this lap to stay ahead. He's now at 50. Mitch following closely. They are very close going into this last corner. Mitch is using his ERS now. John is going defensive. Mitch is having, some wheels out. And that will be very painful for him. Has 55 cents. Takes his chance and goes second. So you don't want to go into this braking zone and have two wheels on the grass, that's for sure. That's what cost him. He's still third though. No major incident happened, so he can still fight for it. That's 55 cents. He's very aggressive against John. He has a lot of ERS to fight him. As John C is deploying, 85 cents backs out a little bit, and we'll wait on the next DRS zone to try and tap and overtake. He places his car in a very aggressive position against John. John keeps his line. But the soft tires past 8 laps are really suffering. You can see it, especially in this section, this low grip section. And now I think that, oh, we have a safety car. I'm not sure what happened. I think it's one of the AS car. Yeah, Annie had an incident, I think. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. I think Annie might have a moment. And this is very interesting because the hard tires, they can go for 22 laps in these circumstances. So everyone which is on the soft or mediums could go to the hard until the end. But for the hard runners, medium is going to be rubbish at the end of this race for them. Going 20 laps on it is a bit too much, I think, so we'll see what happens. If there's another safety car, though, it might be good for the medium runners, the hard runners. So just as expected, all the medium runners go into the pit and put those R's on. I'm pretty sure that Sublime will try to prolong and stint for 10 laps and hope for a safety car at some point to get on the medium tires. This is one thing that sucks with this game, is that it's very hard to do the alternate strategy, since most of the time you have an early safety car or a safety car in the first 10 laps. Starting on the hards is not the best option most of the time. Still, it depends. It's a gamble, but usually when the cars are packed, incidents happen, so That's a very lovely McLaren up there at the front. Our real leader, though, at the moment is Professor Phil. So I don't know what happened with John C. on his pit stop, but Prof Phil is now ahead. So that will be interesting. And 55 cents also is leading. As I think that the safety car, the safety car is coming this lap, so we'll get back racing. So we will have 2 drivers, which are going to be a little slow compared to the race of the pack. It's Sublime and Sparty that will lead. So they will have to defend as much as they can to stay in front as the race is restarting. And already we have Sublime, which is weaving to get the tires to temperature, as 55 cents is trying an overtake on Sparty, and it's done. And we have Mr. Naz, which is going on the outside. Will he be able to make a move? And I think yes, they touch, but he's able to pass. And then there's Professor Phil, which is going to try a move on Sparty. Oh, he goes off track and almost smashed back into Sparty. He will lose some place and some time here as John C is right back to him. And we have Sparty, which is now gaining on Mr. Nas. Will he be able to make a move here, going into the chicane? No, but we have decided, which is back there waiting for his moment to pounce. He's really close. Will he try a move here late on the brake? No, he doesn't, but he's still very close. He could try a move in the next corner, as he goes very aggressive with his line, and you can see that the Mercedes, and they touch. They go double too wide on the penultimate corner. And there's some contacts there. I think John C now is beside Mitch. Sparty Sparty keeps his place. As Decided is trying to move on him at the moment. Oh, and it's really close. The drive. Oh, and they touch, and Decided goes with a spin. Now it's Prof Phil, which is trying to catch Insane Sparty. Let's go into cockpit view for a moment. As we have Take It Easy, which is having a look here on Mitch. Not able to pass. The Mercedes are trying to gain back into this race. And now Take It Easy should be able to make a move. He backs out. He backs out, but still... live to fight another day. As we can see, Prof Phil ahead, battling with Sparty. And by the time we were in Take It Easy cockpit, he had El Chris right behind him. And there's Dirty Diesel right behind him as well. So all of these cars are pretty much packed. So we'll try to cover the overtake as much as possible. There's Mitch here, which is really close. Going into this DRS zone, he goes a little bit off track. Will he be able to make a move here? No, he doesn't. And Sparty is holding on his 13-year-old tires. Not year old, his 13 laps old tires, sorry. Years old would be pretty rubbish tires, if you ask me. As Sublime is finally passed by 55 cents. As John C has a big moment, I think he's out of this race now. 55 cents makes his way back up top of the pack. And Mr. Nas is really fast back there. He's right in the DRS of these two cars for the lead. I will not speak too much about him, but I wish him a good result, obviously. As here we see our 3 leaders going into this high-speed section. And we have Tukarizi still battling Mitch for 5th position. He's right in the slipstream. He's on more rapid tire, so we should have better exit at some places. A lot more grip. But it seems like Mitch has more straight line speed or more battery. Or they're pretty much even on the battery. We have Trevor battling here, arm assist. Oh, as he goes into the pit. 13 laps old hards for arm assist. As he himself is battling with Decided. As they are going into the second DRS zone and Decided is very close to him. Will he try and overtake here? I think yes. Will he make it stick? Yes. Brilliant move here by Decided. Which unfortunately have a time penalty though. And Taker is still in a battle with Mitch. Will he be able to pass on this lap? It really seems like the AlphaTauri has quite some speed in a straight line compared to the Mercedes. And it really seems like he's not able to be... Yeah, the very good distance to attack. He is very close going into this corner, goes deep, and we'll lose a little bit of time. So it's an unfinished battle, that's for sure. As Mr. Nas is closer to Sublime, as his tires are coming off, and Phil is catching to this leader, this group of leader. He's now 4th. He's now in Mr. Nas DRS. So let's see what happens with these 4. As it seems that 55 cents has his red light flashing. Oh, no, he doesn't. It was probably just in the braking zone when I watched his car. Sublime, though, is trying to hold on with the RS. To stay in 85 cents DRS, just not able to. So will Mr. Nas be able to try move on him now that Sub has his red light flashing? Phil is watching that from behind, like a shark ready to attack. So I think from this point, if Sublime decides to pit, he should do it by lap 21 and go on soft tires for the rest of this race. That could be a very good strategy for him. As nothing really moves. John C is pulling some moves back there in the first sector. Sorry, but very disappointing incident for him earlier on in the race. He was one of our leader and had a very good pace. It's very unfortunate that he's not in these battles anymore. As we have a lovely DRS train here between Decided, Sparty, Chris, Take Her Easy, and Mitch. And another DRS train in front. Mr. Nas, Professor Phil, Sublime, and 55 Cents. And really, even though he's on very old tires, Sublime is holding on. Remember I said that 55 Cents could come back with pre-race to go? Really seems like it at the moment. If I had an award to give this season, I would give it to Mr. Nas for driver that improved the most during the season and the previous season. Look at him, he's now running in the top 3 with the big guys. It's very good for him. He's a very good driver, very clean driver as well. I only wish him to score his first podium. As he's now very close to Sublime. Sublime is really struggling with his tires at the moment. It's now this battle extended. Now the train which was behind, because Sub is holding everybody with his old tires, the train has catch to the lead train and everyone is right behind one another, which is probably going to lead to some drastic moves in the last laps of this race. As we're lap 21 out of 29, so a driver like Take Her Easy, if he wants to take some position, he must do moves quickly. He has an opportunity here as Mitch goes a little wide. But then again, Mitch seems so fast in a straight line compared to him. He's just not able to pass him. It's crazy. And Profil did manage a move on Mr. Nas. We missed that. Watching Fakerisi try to make a move. And now Sublime is under trap from Phil. It seems like Sublime has very, very good pace though, even though his tires are 21 laps old. Slipstream here, we see how Phil is closing on Sublimes. He needs a better chicane exit. He will try a move here, that's for sure. Yeah, he's got the speed. A very tough corner to overtake because of that chicane. They didn't touch, but it was very close. As we go racing here. Oh, and they're side by side going into the last corner. I think Sub will have to concede the corner though. Yes, he does. As Mr. Nas, no, he goes off track and he hits Take Your Easy and he hits decided. Oh my God, very late incident in the game. That's very unfortunate for Mr. Nas. He's now running 9. Oh my God. As Take Your Easy goes into the pit, they have to change their front wing. So that's a race to forget for him. And John C. also going out the pits onto soft tires. Oh no, it's Sublime, sorry. He did select his moment well as an incident happened behind him. That should be a benefic. Yeah, he should find an advantage out of that. That's for sure. This 55 cents is pretty now. He's pretty sure to win this race. Unless he makes a big mistake or there's a safety car. So the train that we had was broken by Mr. Nas incident. Now the gaps are a little higher everywhere on the grid. But we've got a good battle here between the Decided and El Chris. Two teammates in Aston Martin. Decided there's not much ERS to fight with. Chris doesn't have much in store too, so let's see what happens with these ones. If they fight, or if there's team order that we're not knowing about. As we have Armistice, I think, coming out of the pit. Yeah. And Sparty goes in the pit after 22 laps on his hard tires. Going to change for softs. As we have the Aston Martin of El Chris, which I think made an incident. He lost his front wing, so we will have to go back to the pit. I don't know if it was an overtaking attempt from his teammate. And now we're following Johnsy, which is following Trevor. It should be a pretty easy overtake for him as he's on fresh softs compared to Trevor on 14 laps old hards. And as you can see, on just the braking distance is not the same on these tires. And he's having a lot more grip going into that corner. And this should be a pretty easy move as they go side by side. And yeah, it's done, but not as easy as I thought. clarified that back. Now Sublime's next in line to go past Trevor. And Prof Phil will have some problem with Mitch following behind at some point. Mitch did close into his DRS. Mitch that also seems to have very good straight line speed compared to the other drivers around here, so we'll see what happens with that. As Phil has a very good exit out of that last corner. He's flying away. And we have 3 laps to go, and the fastest lap goes to Armistice at this point in the race. And it really seems like Mitch has the fastest car in the straight line from this race. As we have a flag in Sector 3, it's the Oz from Trevor. So we will see Mitch try a move in the next DRS zone as he's closing. He's not deploying any ERS, so he might wait for his moment on the last lap of this race. We'll see what happens with that. As Mr. Nas, which had an incident, is now running in 5th. It's not too bad from him, but he will have to survive John C., which is not too far behind, and Sublime, which is on pretty new soft tires, which is going to be faster than his teammate at some point. As El Chris on the fastest tires is taking fastest lap. So let's go back to Mitch. In Sector 1 we have an incident, I think it's Dirty Diesel. And Mitch doesn't seem to have a good line out of that last corner. It's really hurting him. I think he will try though an overtake probably in the next... Nope, he's not close enough. He really needs a better exit out of that last corner to be able to make an overtake attempt on Professor Phil. John C. is closing on Mr. Nas. Oh, he goes off track. It's pretty old hard tires now, so the drivers have to be really careful with these. They're going to be slippery. As Sublime passed him, I think John C. wasn't able to retake control of his car completely and just let his teammate pass and hope to be able to follow him and stay in his DRS to gain as much time as possible on the leaders. It's going to be pretty hard though, since Mr. Nas is 10 seconds away from decided, so I think there's only one position to gain for the McLaren drivers at this point. So we have a back marker here, which goes out of the way. That's very smart from Dirty Diesel to do. We really like when the back markers are getting out of our way when we're at the front. That's good racing behaviors. As Mitch and Professor Phil are running out of the ERS, Mitch is closing the gap a lot more on Phil. He's got a very good chicane here. But the exit, this chicane entry was really good, but the exit was a little wide and wasn't able to go as fast as Phil on the throttle there. Here's the part where he struggles a lot. Ooh, as he comes real close to hitting him. And this is very dangerous. You should... it's not a corner where you want your ERS to be on, because it very unsettles the car. As the race is finished and he was not able to pass him. Will Sublime be able to pass Mr. Nas in the last meters of this lap? No, he doesn't. What a battle between Nas and Sublime. Jeez, what a tight finish. Only 200s. Wow. So, in terms of the championship, Phil will extend his lead on Sublime, and 55 Cents comes back into the game with Sublime for the second place, but it's still a little far from Phil. So Phil's in a very good position to win this championship at the moment. There's still 2 races to go, the sprint race and the feature race. So we'll see what happens there. Oh. So I can see drivers which are really happy for their results. There's Mr. Nas, which is in 5th position. Oh, as we don't have the results posted. Something ended abruptly. Anyways, so I hope you enjoyed the stream. We'll see each other again next Tuesday for Saudi Arabia, which is going to be the last race of the championship. It's a sprint race followed by a feature race. So lots of points to get there. Anything can happen if Phil has one of the 2 races remaining. Have an incident in one of the 2 races remaining. Championship can still change. So we'll see. thanks for watching the stream, and see